today we are talking about mentoring, an organization here in Rapid City that's been doing it a long time as Big Brothers and Big Sisters. With us now is Audrey. Now talk a little bit about how long Big Brothers, Big Sisters has been here in this community.
Yeah, so we've been serving the Black Hills area for around 65 years.
Oh my.
And it started off as a program that paired brothers together, so male mentors with littles that needed someone to come into their life. And through the years, it's transitioned to being Big Brothers and Big Sisters and kind of encompassing all those that we serve in the Black Hills.
Sure. Now talk about the impact of mentoring and what it means to a youth to have that somebody sort of in their corner.
Yeah. Well, I kind of go back to the three things that we're accountable to. So that's, building healthy relationships, getting access to educational success and aspirations, and then also avoiding risky behavior. So then when we have a mentor that's put into a kiddo's life and supports them, they're being given a positive relationship, getting consistency from an adult that, maybe isn't their parent or related to them in any way, and just showing that positive role model. I think it shows also how to build relationships, outside of maybe what you're comfortable with, like your parent or your sibling or your aunt or your uncle. And it's showing perhaps like a different way of doing things. Maybe it's, a big that had a different career path than your parent or has a different hobby than people that you already know in your life. And just kind of giving that open door to goals, to hobbies, to things that might not have come into a kiddo's life otherwise.
That's a good point. Now, if somebody's watching this and thinking mentoring, well, what does that all consist of? Sort of talk about your program.
Yeah, so in order to become a big, we have you go through a process with our match support specialists really to get to know you. And then from there, we set you up with a little that perhaps has similar hobbies or maybe similar goals of things that they want to learn that maybe you're really good at. As far as requirement for volunteering, we ask that you volunteer for at least a year and do 4 hours a month. And that can look like whatever works for your schedule, really. It could be 4 hours all at one time, 1 hour a week, 2 hours every other week, really whatever works for your little schedule, your big schedule, and kind of also depends on what it is that you're going to do.
And then if somebody wants to get involved, where can they go?
Just to our website, bigmentors.com. Right at the top, you'll see Become a Big, and there's some frequently asked questions on there that sort of answers some of the questions that you've asked me today. But then also we have an online application that goes automatically to us, to our match support specialists that then get back to you right away to schedule a time to talk about your why in mentoring and getting you set up for an interview.
So now we're with Beth and Kami, a match here at Big Brothers, Big Sisters. So first of all, why don't you guys tell me how long you've been a match?
We met each other in about September, so we just started doing some activities this fall.
Okay, and Beth, why don't you tell us why you decided to get into this mentoring program?
Okay, well, I just recently retired from teaching for 35 years. I have 2 grown sons and 3 grandsons, so I've never had a little girl in my life, and that's something that years ago I always tell myself, when I retire, I'm getting a little sister. So Kate and I, the match specialists, are friends, and I say, hey Kate, tell me about getting matched up. So it was just something that was kind of always a goal of mine that I wanted to do when I had the time and opportunity to do it. So, well, I think when we met, we both are kind of little balls of energy, so I think we're kind of a good fit. She's just got lots of energy, so do I, and we just hit it off right away when we met, didn't we?
Yeah.
And you said today you went swimming.
We did go swimming today, yep.
Wow. Is that one of your favorite activities?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
What other kind of activities do you guys do, Kami?
We did do pottery.
And pottery to paint, we've baked cookies, carved pumpkins. What did we do outside with your sisters, you remember?
Ice skating.
Yeah, we went ice skating. We just kind of talk about lots of things we'd like to do, and then we hope that the weather cooperates, and if not, we kind of have a backup plan if it's too cold to do. She likes to be outside, so we kind of like to do outside things if we can.
So now, as a former teacher, you know the impact of mentoring, I'm assuming, just you've seen through in the classroom. I guess, what's your take on mentoring, and talk about the impact?
I just think it's an opportunity for a child to just have a different adult in their life. Like even as a teacher, for what, when I was teaching, even having a guest speaker in the classroom would be great, because after a while the teacher's like, wah, 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 wah. Well, parents are kind of the same way. When you live with your parent, you can hear it from your parent, but if you hear something from another adult, I think it just makes a different impact. So I think kids need as many positive adults in their life as they can have, especially, you know, the way the world is now, so.
And I mean, there's been lots of studies done that say, you know, like mentoring helps kids in so many different aspects of life too. So
Yeah, I think like in relationships, friendships, she's got 2 big sisters, so I'm also the youngest, so that's like we can kind of relate to being the youngest. Yeah, I just think there's just lots of positives that come from getting to do things together.
And what do you think of your mentor so far?
That I like love being with her.
What
Well,
is it?
she loves being with you too, so.
How has she impacted you so far, would you say?
Good.
In a positive way?
Yeah.
You think, what has Kami taught you?
I think it's just giving me a little more sense of adventure. Like, you know, I go to the swim center all the time, but I sure don't run up and down the steps and go down the slide. But, you know, when you're with someone younger than you, it just is, I think it'll keep me younger and more active, and being willing to, like, my bike, I haven't had my bike out in a couple of years. I got to get it spruced up, but we'll go biking. So yeah, it's good to keep me active, and she's just full of energy and always smiling and positive, and just kind of makes me smile when I see her. So
All right, you guys, well, thanks so much for your time
yeah,
today.
you're welcome.